Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me an hour later than normal. And we're about to hit in March 8th, I think we're going to hit daylight savings time. So time is going to be insane. But I'm so glad you guys are here. We didn't know until last minute that the kids were presenting something. So I got all dressed up. It's all good. How are y'all doing? I'm tired. I'm on a medication that's just like a temporary medication, kind of like an antibiotic, but it's not an antibiotic, and it's making me very nauseated. So I'm like, I'm good. I'm just nauseous and tired. Perfect. Yeah, next week already. It is insane. We've got this weekend, it will be turning March, obviously, and then on to spring before you know it, which is going to be great. But also, like, for me, this is the time of year that I'm like, okay, let's get it together. New year energy always seems to hit for me. Well, I shouldn't say always because it used to hit for me big and like Christmas and whatever. Now that time of year is just so busy all the time that I'm like, no. March it is. So we'll talk about the retreat. Thank you guys for saying you like my top. I appreciate that. Here's the funny thing is that I actually had a deep red, like a wine red top that is very similar to this one. And it was the first time I was going to wear it. And I spilled makeup all over it. So I'm like, is it ruined now? I'm going to be so sad if it's ruined. So if anybody knows how to get foundation out of like I don't know what this is. It's not cotton. Let me know because that was terrible. Spring energy is electric. March is the best month anyway. Only said by someone whose birthday is in March. I see you. I see you. So let's talk about the retreat. So I had a blast at the retreat. I did two retreats. I did an at-home retreat and I did vlog it, but I don't know if I'll put that one up, but I probably will, but I just feel like there's so much stuff to edit. It just might go up late. So I did an at-home retreat, which ended up just being like 2 days of focused time working on the book. Started antibiotics yesterday. I had to stop because it made me sick. Yeah, it's like, it's not when it's busy, but I feel like there's never a convenient time to be sick, so it's all good. But I had so much fun. When I do an at-home writing retreat, it's basically just me. I'm very lucky that I have a bathroom here and a door, and I have a little tiny little mini fridge that fits like 6 little cans of drink in there. And so I basically just said, "Okay, guys, dinner is over. Daddy's gonna put Evie to bed. I will see you again another time," and just close myself in here, work till late in the night, get up the next day, work in here all day. And I really was immersing myself in the story world. So obviously I am working on edits for A Mirror of Shadows, and the entire first act is completely different. Like, for those of you that listened to A Mirror of Shadows, the way she meets Maggie, like they're not inside the home for girls. They have aged up to 22. It's totally different, which then has also changed some of the things once she gets inside the shard. So there's some of those things changing. There's battles that have been changed. Some of the scenes are in different order. So there's a lot of things that are different. So I think for those of you that listened, you'll have some fun reading it the new way. So I have 3 main beta readers. One is a couple and the other is a standalone person. I don't know. That's a weird way to say it, but like I have 3 beta readers. My good beta reader, Jen, has been around. I mean, they both have been around forever, but really how I got my beta readers, just for those of you that are interested in knowing, is Jennifer was part like standalone person. I don't know. I just was trying to say I have 1 beta reader and then I have a couple. Yeah, I don't know. She is also a series person, but Jennifer, I just happened to notice over a few years that every time I would publish a book, she would be one of the first people to leave a review. And Then she joined my ARC team and she was in my Facebook group and just really active. And so when I really needed a beta reader, I just reached out to her and it was a very organic process. And I said, would you be willing to read this and give me some feedback, et cetera? Because I knew she had read my books because she always left words or left reviews. Oh, well played, Gail. What did Gail say? If only this one, if only we use the international fixed calendar, the new year would begin April 1st. I would be happy with that. What was I saying? Oh, Joe and Sherry, my other beta readers, they came to a book signing of mine and they had been fans for a long while. And they came to a book signing and they were like, do you want to go to dinner after the signing? I'm like, let's do it. And so we went to dinner, we started talking. And the more we were talking, I was like, wow, they've got some really good feedback about the books. They're, obviously they love fantasy, they enjoy my books, et cetera. And so they became the beta readers. So I have had these 3 beta readers and sometimes additional people since 2012, 2011. So that is a lot, like that's such a long-term commitment relationship. And I just am so grateful for all of them because they are, other than George, and you guys actually read it before, but Jennifer was with us on the live chats and she mostly, I think, listening on replay, but she listened to the book as I was reading it. Joe and Sherry have never read the book. And so it's kind of interesting to be getting their feedback as they go through it. But anyway, I did a full at-home writing retreat where I basically rewrote all of Act 1. So I wrote about 13 to 15,000 words fresh. Rebecca, new member, welcome to the Broken Chapter Society. We do have a Broken Chapter Society live stream tonight, and we're going to do one next week as well. So Broken Chapter Curators tier will meet up tonight for, we're going to kind of do behind the scenes, and I'm going to write if you guys want to hang out, and we'll just kind of talk. Then on maybe Tuesday, but we'll talk about a little bit more tonight. I am doing a manifesting experiment for the month of March. So I'm just going to go over all the fun things that I'm doing to try to manifest. Really, I'm focused on money. I'm going to manifest some extra money in March and a good book release. So I'll share with you guys some of those things. If you are in the Broken Chapter Society, I know it's too late. I'm sorry. I know it's so late for those of you that are in Europe. I was like, I know you can't make it, but the replay will be up. Yay for money. I'm like, this will be fun. How can I make March just super fun? Let's just manifest money. Money March. Let's do it. And it's fine. Yeah, I think we could probably all use that. Let's all manifest some money. Let it rain. Let's go. Oh, I'm just kind of bouncing around topics. But anyway, got about 13 to 15-ish thousand words and actually was tracking it. So no, I cannot even read that from here, but I was tracking it over here. I have these little clothespin looking things that have sticky on the back of them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to put them on the door. So I have been tracking my word count here, and then you can see them on this door. And I have my plotting sheet up there, but I took it down for the retreat. Haven't put it back up, but I made it to like 25,000 words edited. Then my friend Megan and I went to Waco, Texas, and first of all, I was planning to get a lot more done. But Evie got sick, then Andrew got sick. And then I woke up, I'm not sure what day it was. I think it was last Tuesday, not this week, but the week before. I woke up and did some kind of stretch. And I think this is like the fun of aging. And also I've been doing jazzercise, which includes a lot of weightlifting stuff at the end and a lot of like moving your arms as you're jumping around. I did a stretch and my whole like neck and back seized up and I could not even turn my neck to the side at all. Extreme pain. I couldn't move. I couldn't drive because I couldn't see. Like I could not turn. Everything hurt. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm trying to finish this book. I'm on the last stretch and I had 3 days. I could barely move. We got into emergency chiropractor, was trying to do everything I could for anti-inflammation. I was like turmeric, pepper, ginger, black seed oil. Like I was doing everything that I could think of. I'm like Googling, does CoQ10 help with inflammation? I was trying so much. and ice packs and everything, but it killed my writing stuff because, the last stretch, that's right, it's a pun. It was no pun intended, Jennifer. But I feel like so this is gonna come down to our, discussion of the day, which is talking about self-belief, and self-love. I don't know how a hot bath with Epsom salt can help your neck, though. Like, how do you get your neck into the bath without drowning? I don't know. I did not take a bath. I did not take a bath because I feel like it's hard to get that area. It's like all down my neck. I don't know. Hand sanitizer. What? Oh, I thought you were talking about my neck. You're talking about the makeup. Okay, I got it. Oh, you know what? Tiger Balm. I've heard of that. I feel like George's mom used that. I do not have any of that, but my chiropractor was like, no heat, only cold. I don't know. OTC Voltaren gel. Okay, I need to write that down. Is that true? Epsom salt soak in and helps your muscles relax all over? I did not know this. Well, you guys are amazing. Magnesium cream. Tiger Balm is the bomb. Casey. All right, all the ideas. I should have come to you and asked you what I could do instead of just crying on my bathroom floor. Oh, just incredible. How is George's dad doing? He is doing better and better. I feel like he's in a really good place right now. Thank you for asking about that. Hello, Janine. How are you, my friend? Tiger Balm is great until you get it in your eyes. Oh no. YouTube is the new crowdsourcing. I couldn't even actually lay on the floor because I couldn't move. It was just that feeling of like, okay, I didn't do a huge like release date announcement or anything because I know there's always a chance and like who knows if I'm going to finish in time. But I was like, I feel pretty good about this. The beginning of February, everything's coming together. I feel like the book is almost done. Let's get it out there. And there's also this feeling of like, comes down to self-love and self-belief of like, I don't want people to be upset. Let me promise it so they're pleased with me. Right. And then there's also a feeling of if I don't put a line in the sand and say the book is coming out, then I can't make it a priority because I've got HB90 and Publish and Thrive and there's, follow through fix and all these people and I've got to serve this community and there's videos to get up and stuff like that. So it feels like the writing is the easiest thing when there's no deadline to just keep pushing back. And I've been doing that for 5 years now and I'm just over it. And so that was my way of being like, I'm just going to tell Broken Chapter Society and kind of mention it casually on Coffee Chat that the book hopefully will be coming out on the 27th. And it will be just March 27th. So I couldn't get it done. And part of it was just like everything started lining up. And this is a constant reminder too of the fact that life is going to life and we can have discipline and we can have intentions, but also when you have a lot of things going on, it can be very difficult to make deadlines happen. And so I did everything I could not finish it. But I will say this, we went to, once, like I was going to the chiropractor every day until I could at least move my neck, but I was still a little bit in pain. And I went to Waco with my friend Megan, and we had such a great time. The weather was beautiful. The Airbnb was so cute. And I did post a little bit of it in the Broken Chapter Society, but I'm going to post another reel that has the full walkthrough. We stayed at a place that in Waco called the Pink Cheetah. It's whenever I go to Waco, I almost always stay in the same building, which is right next to the Fabled Bookshop, because it's just fun to be able to get up and go walk over there and go get a coffee at a bookstore. And it's the cutest little bookstore. And I stayed there again, but this was like a unit inside that building that we've never been at before, but it's called the Pink Cheetah. And so we got matching pink cheetah PJs. We had so much fun. Like Megan is a really fun, quirky person, and I have known her. She started self-publishing in 2011, and so we're kind of like old school self-publishing authors. And a lot of the people that started with us in 2010 and 2011 are no longer around as authors, and then a lot of the people that are around started a lot after us. So having that friend that has been with you kind of from the beginning, and it's just great because we didn't live close to each other before, but now she only lives like an hour away. So we went to the Pink Cheetah and we wrote, and she was writing a novella. I was working on edits, and I started back at the beginning at word one because that 15,000 words I wrote was all new words, like rough draft, basically. So I started at the beginning so that I could start sending chapters over to my beta readers. And so we had a couple of days of genuine hard work, but also we walked a lot. We went to Magnolia. We went to the Dr. Pepper Museum and that we had caramel cream Dr. Pepper. Like they do not have this flavor out in the wild, and it tasted like butterscotch soda. It was delicious. I recommend. Yay. Julie says, I've been here since 2012. I love it. I love it. I wonder why the people who used to publish are doing what they're doing now and why they stopped. Yeah, I think everybody kind of has their own stories. I mean, it's not like there's nobody left. There's still a crowd, but it's so many of the people. Like we had especially a group of YA authors. We called ourselves the Indelibles for a while, and most of them are not self-publishing anymore or publishing at all. And I don't know what happened to everybody, but I know some of them, it just became too much of an emotional toll, all the ups and downs and the bad reviews or people being like mad when you don't have a new book coming out. It does take an emotional toll when people get angry the book hasn't come out fast enough or they didn't like your book, or it's a roller coaster of a career because you think one book could come out and it does better than you think, but then the next book comes out and it does nothing and nobody buys it, and it takes, this goes back to the self-love that I want to talk about, self-belief, because it is just a really, really tough career where you can equate your works, like you're pouring your whole heart into this this art that you're putting out, and then people get to judge it, and then you either make money or you don't. And it can be really tough when things are kind of up and down, up and down. And I think a lot of people just were like, this isn't worth it for me anymore. And so, that I think is a common reason that people stopped. I know a couple of the authors that were in that group were like, I can make a lot more money as a teacher or over here in this other job. And I'm just like, this isn't, it's not worth it. I think a lot of people feel that way. So anyway, we had a good time. We had a really great time. And money is a big part of it. It's like if you don't have enough money to publish the next book and get the editors that you need or to put a good cover on it, it can be really difficult to keep going. So you got to really try to budget and keep your eye on how much you're spending and things like that. It can be tough. But also maybe just decided, I know for some people, once they started publishing, they just lost the love of it because it became so much about the marketing, and they just were like, I just want to write for fun again. And so one of the authors that was in our group is just writes for like fan fiction on Wattpad now. She doesn't do anything for like publishing. And I think that's great if it makes her happy, because it can easily steal your love. But my love is definitely still alive and well. And I really, really enjoyed being there with my friend, really enjoying it. 16 months. Oh my gosh. It has been so long. We're going to talk about this a little bit in terms of this afternoon for those of you that are here, some of the new things that are going to be coming, but 16 months, all our founders. Thank you guys for that. I had a great time in Waco, and I made it to about just shy of 50,000 words edited. It was like 43,000. And then I added maybe 5,000 more. So I'm around 48 or 49,000 words edited, done. Like there will be, hey, Lori Cleary, welcome to the BCS. I have about, I think, 30,000 words left to go. But these have all been sent to beta readers. They're reading it. It's just they're loving it. And Jennifer was sending me text messages as she was going through it, and her comments were very much like, wow, the book was good before, but this is so much better. And so I'm feeling really good about the progress that I've made, but it's just not done yet. Then I started thinking, oh, this would be super fun to put it out on Angela's birthday, March 13th, because it'll be a Friday the 13th. But then, dun, 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 Mercury retrograde. And because the book is still not 1,000% finished, I'm scared to just put it up for 2 weeks, because then what if I still miss it? So the book is going to come out 1 month from today. 3/27. So March 27th on Friday, the book will come out. I am actually still going to put it up for pre-order. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully nothing goes wrong for Mercury retrograde for pre-order. I started the process before Mercury retrograde started. So I will be putting up for pre-order. I also will let you guys know next week, hopefully, what I'm going to do about paperbacks and stuff. Some of you won paperbacks during the spooktacular and stuff, so I'll let you know about all of that. Oh, you're retiring on that date, Leah. That's so exciting. I love that. Oh, when I became a writer, I thought I would never do marketing again after 10 years of doing it, and here I am. Yeah, it's marketing heavy. It is a marketing heavy career. Yay, in Houston, and you're heading to Corpus Christi. That's very exciting. Starting a whole new life. Perfect, perfect. Welcome to Texas. Welcome to Texas. I have about 10K of Vampire Ghostbusters left to edit before it goes off to betas on Sunday. Inka, that's so exciting. We can edit together. We can edit together. I'm excited for it because I feel like this year is going to be a writing year. And the more I have been spending time on it, the more I'm just so grateful and excited to be writing again and back in it. It's just a matter of figuring out all the balance things that have to go into it. And I feel like something that has been on my mind a lot about all of this, like balance, wanting to do basically 2 careers at the same time, thinking about, big birthdays coming up, big milestones, and what all I want to do with my life. And I think these big birthdays, like I've said before, always sort of crystallize for me. What is it that I really want in my life? Like if I get to design the life that I want, which I do truly believe, I do think that we have callings and we have a purpose. And I think that the more we follow our intuition and the things that just keep coming back for us, like stories always I was singing and I did this and I did that. And then it was just always there, the idea to write and to go. And it just always keeps coming back. And so I feel like this is part of who I was meant to be. And I think that we can design our lives. I think we can say, that is what I want, and then start heading and making progress every day toward those things that we want. Any idea if HardyCon is still feasible for May? No, HardyCon is not going to happen in May. What we're doing right now is looking at late September. We just couldn't find a venue. Too many places in Texas are booked years out for weddings in May, which I didn't think about when we started looking at venues. And it's like, oh, terrible month. It just isn't going to work. So we're looking at September, but nothing has been finalized yet. Next week, I will go and tour the place that we're very hopeful is going to be the place. And if I tour it and I love it, then I will definitely put it up and let's get moving on it. Gifted 1 membership. Yay, Kayla. Thank you so much for that. Oh, you forgot to do a birthday manifest wish. Yeah, wedding and prom season. Why didn't I think of that, Jenna? It just didn't occur to me. And when we started looking, I was like, ooh, it's not going to happen. Even if we had started booking 6 months ago, wouldn't have happened. The type, like I have a vibe I'm searching for. But honestly, giving us the summer to plan for it, I've already got so many more like ideas and things that I can do because I'll have more time. But I will send official announcements on it once we have an official like news on it. Ooh, might be in Austin around that time. That would be great. I would love for you to be there, Scarlett. What was I saying? Oh, Val. Oh my gosh. Help with event planning. I will let you know. I definitely could use help. I have a new team member, Malia. She's my new operations manager, and she has been on it. And she actually lives here in Texas. So if we have HardyCon in September, she will likely be there, and you guys will get to meet her. But you love my little Hello Kitty. This one is part of the Tokidoki. I haven't even taken the tag off of her. She's dressed as one of their characters, and now I can never remember what this character's name is, but Cherry Berry or something like that. So cute with the little cherry on her head. I love it. I have the star candle because we're gonna love ourselves. We're gonna love ourselves. I feel like I have been thinking about this a lot. Intuition and self-love, self-trust, self-belief, because I think it is very easy, or it has been easy for me over the course of my lifetime to go in waves in terms of sometimes I believe in myself. And even when, like with self publishing, I knew I wanted to self publish when George and I had been kind of looking around at what is Amanda Hawking doing? We're reading blogs, we're kind of looking around. It was like, man, that looks like something for me. That sounds really great. And literally everybody was telling me to not do it, right? Because at the time it seemed really risky. But I had that self-belief and faith in my own intuition. I trusted my intuition. I was like, there's something here for me and I'm going to do it. And I took a leap and it obviously paid off. And then if I look at other things, like certain things, I said, doctors were like, you're definitely not going to be able to have another baby unless you go through IVF. And I was like, I just don't feel like that's the right path for me this time. It was really, really hard on my body. And I didn't end up doing IVF ever, but we did a bunch of infertility treatments like IUIs and stuff. And then we were scheduled for IVF, but then didn't end up needing it. But I was like, I just don't feel like I want to do that. So it's either going to happen because of other things that I'm doing naturally, or it's just not meant to be. But I trusted myself and it all worked out. And we have Evie. So it's, same thing with YouTube and various other things of like, even if logically it might not make a lot of sense, when I feel really certain about something and I feel like I really trust myself and I know I'm making the right decision, things have always worked out way better than I expected them to. But then there are times when things feel really doubtful and uncertain and in chaos. And instead of turning inward and saying, okay, what do I think? What's my own personal authority? What do I believe? What is my mind telling me? My intuition telling me? I get into this place of fear and I start to think, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't trust myself. I've made too many mistakes. What if I can't do this? And I start looking for opinions from other people, or I start looking at what other people are doing and then judging myself. And so when I'm in a place of true self-trust and self-love and self-belief, I am really in tune with my intuition. And it usually works out for me, at least in the end. When I am doubtful and in chaos, it usually looks like criticism. Like I am being really hard on myself. I am like sabotaging myself by choosing things that I know are not good for me, or that I know are not the way I want to do things. Like my intuition will be like, no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. And I just do it anyway because I'm trying to people please, or I'm trying to follow the logical path, or I'm trying to push myself out of my comfort zone and do it the way people tell me I should do it instead of the way I feel that is right for me. And I'm trying to figure out, I guess, how to harness more of that, like remembering to trust myself when it really matters. Only hearing negatives is the lyric I always hear. Yeah, that is so true. They call it self-centeredness, not selfish, but you are your own center. Intuition meets inner guidance. Yeah. And I think there are sometimes reasons, the biggest reasons why we don't trust ourselves or don't believe in ourselves. Like one, for sure, Timoana's here. Hey girl, how are you? Speaking of friends who have been around in the Heart Breathings or the Sarra Cannon community since not the full beginning, but for a long time, Timoana. But I feel like I kind of wrote down some thoughts because I was like, oh, I really want to talk about this. But like, I think one of the reasons that we often don't trust or believe in ourselves is obviously worthiness, right? Like, I'm flawed. I've made too many mistakes. I've let myself down. So I can't trust myself to make the right decision, or I'm not really worthy of loving myself because I have to um I have to believe what other people have said about me, or the criticisms that I hear in my head. Oh yeah, I have heard her. That was one of her earliest videos that she was talking about. When the thought makes you shrink, it's a no, and when it makes you expand, it's a yes. I do think that is a good litmus test. Like, if you say, should I announce a release date for this book? It can potentially give you a, "Oh, that feels scary." But I do think also that in my experience, this as a litmus test can work in some instances and not work in others, because I think you can get a false no or a false yes. Let me say what I mean about that. Because I do think that, if I said, should I put this book out? I want to put this book out. There might be, if I'm afraid of what people think of this book, there might be a shrinking, but that doesn't mean it's a no. It just means I'm scared, right? Or the opposite of it, if I said, "Ooh, should I start a third YouTube channel?" There might be something there that feels exciting because it's like new and shiny and, all that. Should I start a whole new pen name? Ooh, that feels exciting, and it feels expansive because it's new and it feels like it has very little risk. That doesn't mean it's really the right thing for me, because I haven't started taking everything into consideration. So I do think that's a good litmus test, but I don't think it's always accurate for me to do that. I have to think through every side of it first. Called out on starting a third YouTube channel. I know. Do you have two? Wait, do you already have two? And I don't know about one? I need to know. I need to know. Akshara, it's so good to see you. I have missed you too. I'm so glad you're here. Um, I 1000. You have four? Are you kidding me? Well, I know you got the podcast, right? The Planner Pals. But for some reason, I don't think of that as a YouTube channel. I think of it as a podcast, but it is a YouTube channel. But I don't know if the other ones. Oh, Goobers Who Read. Okay. Joshy Corinne Vlogs. I've never seen that before in my life. But you vlog on your main channel. I'm so confused. Okay. Now I have to go stalk all of those. I'm barely managing one. I hear you. Yeah, sometimes I think that we have a hard time maybe accessing that intuition when we feel like we aren't worthy, when we feel like we need to people please, right? Yeah, and this is so true too, of like women or female presenting people. It's so often that we're taught to believe like, "Oh, well, who's on her little high horse?" That my mom said that all the time, like that we're being prideful, that we're being selfish, that we're bragging, we're being shallow. You got to be thinking about everybody else and what they want from you, and you can't. It's like you're always kind of put in a box, and it's sort of like you don't want to shine too much, but you also don't want to not shine. So you got to find that perfect balance where you're not making anybody feel bad, or you're not outshining anybody, but you're also just doing your best. And I feel like I always was in that sort of box of like, I don't want to shine too much where I get negative attention, but I also don't want to fail. So I'm always pushed to succeed. But then right when I'm on the verge of the bigger success, I'm like, okay, I got to tone it down a little bit so nobody gets mad at me that I'm being too successful. And that is hard. If anybody feels like you relate to that, it's that feeling of like, I gotta make sure nobody's mad at me, or I gotta make sure I'm being a good girl or whatever. Oh, Jenna, not a people pleaser. That is a gift to not be a people pleaser. Because it holds me back a lot. It holds me back a lot. Afraid. One of the things that I said is afraid that if we really loved ourselves And that meant we had to make the choices that reflect self-love and self-belief, that it's too scary or we have to change too much. So, for example, if you're in I'm not trying to call anybody out. This is not my situation, but it was at one point in my life. If you're in a relationship or a marriage or a friendship that everybody thinks is core to you, who you are, it's like your husband or it's your best friend or your mother or whatever. It's like this is an expected good relationship, but you're actually being abused in this relationship. You know that that is not an act of self-love, that you're not really protecting yourself, but you also know that if you rock the boat and put up boundaries that this person oh my gosh, there's a chicken in my front yard. There's a white chicken in my front yard. She's enjoying the sun out there. She's not supposed to be out. I only see one though, so she must the white ones fly. Anyway, second like shiny object. But if you were to disrupt that relationship by chicken interruption, who knows? If you were to disrupt that relationship in your life and set up boundaries that you already know this person who's abusing you is not going to respect those boundaries because they never have in the past, then you know your life has to change. You have to leave that person. You have to have a difficult confrontation. And I definitely feel like it's kind of shiny chicken syndrome. I feel like this is definitely more and more an issue in our society where we're keyboard warriors and like nobody sees our faces. It's like well, not everybody, but a lot of people are fine saying really nasty things behind an avatar on a YouTube comment, but not everybody is okay with, or less and less people are okay with actually having a conversation with someone in their face, and saying hard things. And I think that the more we spend time online, the less comfortable we are with those face-to-face conversations that are difficult, right? Because every relationship needs difficult conversations where you're going to have to say, you know what, I don't like the way you treated me, or I don't like the way you did this, or I need you to step up, or I need you to treat me differently, or I need you to do this thing for me, or, I've changed and I don't want to talk about that anymore, or I disagree with you. There's these conversations that need to happen, but there are also certain relationships that we might have where those conversations feel pointless because that person is not going to listen to you or respect you no matter what you say. And I think sometimes we don't choose or believe we're worthy of self-love because if we loved ourselves, we wouldn't stay in that relationship. And it's often a thing of like, think about if you were a loving parent to yourself. Like Evie, for example. I know not everybody here is a parent, but maybe you're a pet parent, or maybe you have like a nephew or a niece, or you have someone that you really caretake for or love. But for me as a parent, I would, if anybody was speaking negatively or telling Evie that she was ugly, I would be enraged. I would not allow it. Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. I would not allow it. It would not be a thing. Like I would stand up for her no matter what the confrontation, but I will stand in the mirror and look at myself and say ugly things to myself. And it's like, wait, why don't I let anybody talk to Evie that way? Because number one, I know that she's beautiful. I know that she's smart. I know that she does not deserve nasty things being said to her. And also, I love her and I feel like it's my job to protect her. But when I think about myself, shouldn't that same thing be true? That it's my job to protect myself and that it's my job to love myself and to know more than anything that I am worthy of my own happiness and being beautiful and believing in myself. Like, I know George believes in me. I know many of you believe in me, but truthfully, I should be the person that believes in myself the most because I am myself. It's like I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's just like if anybody is going to champion you, you should be you. But we don't do it. We and maybe some of you do. Maybe some of you are your best champion. And I'm curious sometimes too, because like I watched a video yesterday of an influencer who was having a baby. And I also think not in a million years was I going to let someone put a camera in my face when I was pushing out a baby. Not going to happen. I have no judgment for her doing it, but there's some bravery there because I was like, do not. I would not want a camera in that room. I'm sure, looking rough. But anyway, I enjoy watching other women go through the birthing process, which I know also sounds weird. It's just such a powerful moment and it always makes me cry. But anyway, I was watching her little Instagram reels of a series of not even for the C-section. Yeah, they wouldn't let us bring cameras into the C-section room, which I guess makes a lot of sense anyway. But so we didn't get pictures of Andrew until later. But with Evie, I was like, no, there's a picture of us after she was born and like 2 hours after she was born. But anyway, I was watching this video and her mom was in there with her and just the whole time being like, you are so brave. You are so strong. Oh my gosh, you're the strongest woman in the world, whatever. And I just was like, oh my gosh, it just really hit me hard. And then, watching the Olympics, sometimes I come here to cry. I love you. Watching the Olympics and some of these parents that, I'm sure some of the parents are also like really relentless and harsh on their kids. But some of those parents you see, they're like just nervous for them and like, I love you so much. And I'm so proud of you, even if they fell or, whatever. And I just think, oh my gosh, like, what if instead of carrying any kind of pain about how I was treated as a kid, like that's in the past, what if I just decided right now to be that champion parent for myself and to just wake up every morning and look in the mirror and be like, oh my gosh, you are the strongest, most beautiful woman I have ever known. I'm so proud of you. As if I was my own mother looking in the mirror and just cheering myself on. And I wonder, I'm going to use this as an experiment because I told you I'm doing a manifesting experiment in March, just because I feel like over the last year or so, I am going to, or I have been just kind of getting in the weeds of things, like focusing more on, well, how are sales going? And maybe I messed this up. And why is this slow? Or why is this whatever? I got to strategize this. I got to take this class. And I just have been less really doing the manifesting and self-belief work. Like I've been doing the work, like therapy stuff. I don't know exactly how to explain it, but just like being my own cheerleader, I've gotten into the weeds of that type of work. And I know I can't fully explain it on Coffee Chat, but just, I want to have a month of just lifting myself up. Let's go outside more. Let's get the sun on my face. Let me look in the mirror, add the, oh my gosh to it. Oh my gosh, Sarah, you are so strong. You are just so incredible. I'm so proud of you. And it's cringe a little bit, right? But like not being ashamed of saying that about myself and just doing it. And yeah, of course, nobody wants to like follow like you guys wouldn't necessarily follow me if I was on here all the time being like, oh my gosh, I am the best author that has ever existed. Don't you guys love me? Like, have some humility, of course, but also when we think about how we treat ourselves, how much would your life, oh, I love you guys. It's not cringe. Thank you for that. How much would our lives change if we genuinely did this? Jeremy says, I am both my worst critic and my biggest cheerleader, which, actually that might be a good balance, Jeremy. Like, I don't know about worst critic, but at the same time, that sounds healthier in some ways because it's like, at least you're cheerleading yourself. But when I think deep down and I think about all the things I've accomplished and all the things that I've done in my own little box, not taking anybody else into consideration, but I just think about the things I've been through and the ways that I have reinvented and rebirthed myself so many times there. And I think about the things that I put in terms of the time I've put in to learn how to self-publish, the time I spend trying to write better books and really caring about that, how much I do truly care about you guys and all the people that come into contact with me and how the reason that it hurts when I get criticized is because I truly care and I want to help and I want to serve. Like I can be proud of that and I can sit in the stillness and be like, you're doing great. But it's when I let myself step out of that and compare, it's like, "Oh my gosh, you're almost 50 and this is look at this person. They're 25 and they have 1,000,000 subscribers and they're going on this trip and they're doing this thing." And that's where it starts to get less self-love and more negative. And so it's a boundary for myself that I need to put into place of being like, "No, no, no, you don't get to." Like if Evie came home from school, just to use it as an example, because it's easier when you're talking about somebody you love. If she came home from school and she was like, so and so got a trophy today and I'm terrible and I'm no good because I didn't win first place. I would not let her speak to about herself that way. I would encourage her, okay, let's practice more. Let's get it done. I would, be that cheerleader, but I would also say that trophy means nothing about your worth, right? And I would cheerlead her for all of that, right? Like 1,000%. And I need to do that to myself and put this boundary in place and say, just like I wouldn't let my daughter compare herself to other people in such a toxic way, I need to not compare myself in that way. I just need to try to get to a place where I remember that none of us is ever going to live up to what is some like ethereal idea of perfection or some ethereal idea of like living up to your potential. He said, I don't even know what she's talking about. I'm just giving an example, sweet child. They're probably upstairs watching. Um, I just think, what can I possibly be expecting from myself to think that I have to be perfect to be worthy of love? Like, for example, oh my gosh. Okay. I used to be like that with my Valentines. We would count how many we got and compare. Guess who got the least, right? We went, they do Valentine things at school where you can, for $1, it's like a little fundraiser for the PTA. You can send a little like Valentines, or they did it for Christmas too. And I was in Andrew's classroom for Christmas, and some kids got like 10 and some kids got none. And well, everybody got one because there's a sweet lady that works at the school that she got one for everybody. And I thought, I'm gonna do one for everybody too. So I've sent one to everybody in both their classrooms this time because I'm like, nobody's going home without one from a classmate. So um, I teased Andrew. I'm like, I'm gonna put on there something like "Be my Valentine, I love you," and he's like, "Don't you dare!" To all the kids in his class, all the girls in his class. I didn't. I didn't. Um, but I just feel like the path forward that I want to try, like moving forward, is what if I try my best to be super intentional about waking up every day and loving myself a little bit more. Which sounds so simple, of course, and I know I've had periods in my life where I have tried to do this, but it's just always that cycle of trying to remember. Let me just remember that I actually am allowed to love myself. Like, if I just realized this, like, if I have mess in my house, there's sometimes there's a part of me that feels like I can't have the success I want if things are messy. And this is one of the things I love. If you haven't ever followed Denise Duffield Thomas, she has a book that's called Get Rich Lucky, B word that rhymes with rich. And she also has a book called Chillpreneur, and she has a course called Lucky Bee Money Boot Camp. And I took that years and years ago. And sometimes what she will do is she'll post a picture of like her messy bathroom and be like, this is what a millionaire's bathroom looks like, because she makes multiple millions a year. And she's trying to dispel this myth that like, in order to make a lot of money, you have to be perfect, or you have to be always have makeup on or whatever. So she'll post a picture of her with her kids in the bed, no makeup on, puffy face, eyes are all red from being up all night. And she'll be like, this is what a multimillionaire looks like. And I really love and appreciate that about her, because there is this thought in my mind of like, if I'm not perfect, or I'm not, you know, haven't lost this weight, or haven't done this thing, or haven't whatever, like I'm not going to be worthy of that next step. And I'm just going to heal that this year. This is a big part of this next year, like me in progress year for me, is doing what I can to stop believing that, because that belief is not true. It's just something I have allowed myself to believe for a long time, but it's not true. You can be a millionaire and also have a messy house. And then at that point you can pay someone to come in and help you organize it. But it's like, you can be a millionaire and still, have other issues that you have, like still have days where you cry in your closet. Like, you don't have to be perfect to be wildly successful. And I am just going to do the best I can to love myself as much as possible this year. What's on the shelf next to the pink skull? Not the Hello Kitty, but the other side. So back here, the Hello Kitty, and then behind it, Ebony or Celeste Duval sent me or gave me this. It's like a little Hollywood mug. I know that's not what you're asking, but because she was like, your books are going to be in Hollywood eventually. So that is cute. Then I've got the skull, and then next to it is like a little jar that has a mummy on it, but she's just turned to the side. It's from Halloween, but I just didn't want to put it away. And then I've got these coasters that have my book covers on it that somebody sent to my mailbox. Let's lean into the messy and ugly, of course. Oh, wait, by which I mean vlogs. I love seeing the live streams. Oh, you're talking to Joshy. Yes. This was the pep talk I didn't know I needed. Listen, I think that if you have been like me, and many, many times in your lifetime, you have tried to push yourself to success by being hard on yourself, like really hard, but not protecting yourself. Like, if you truly love yourself, you will protect yourself. But protecting yourself means not letting people speak to you in a certain way, not speaking to yourself in a negative way. It also means not people pleasing when it puts you in a negative space. It means not staying in negative environments without at least speaking up for yourself or setting boundaries. Protecting yourself also means not announcing release dates when you don't have them ready, or when you know you need more time just because you're afraid. Like, protecting, and I did a nice thing for myself, and this is something we're doing in the follow through fix, which is a self-love jar. Self-love marbles. So if you want to take this on, you can. Every time, so I have a whole set of these. I have a set of them. These are like little cherry marbles, and I had found this cherry glass at Home Goods. So these are the unused ones, and this is a visual reminder, a beautiful visual reminder of every time I make a choice that may not be logical, may not be what somebody else wants or whatever, but is because I loved myself, I set this boundary. And it makes this cute. I have to be careful because I don't want to break anything because it is all glass, but it makes this beautiful sound, and I have been adding to it. So for example, when I got home from this retreat, I did not, like, the final night, I did vlog it so you guys will see it, but the final night, I could have pushed myself to try to get to 60K, and then I could have come home on Wednesday and written all night and probably finished the book and published it on Friday, but it would have felt rushed. It might not have been as good as it could be, and I definitely would have hurt my health because I was already struggling with my neck hurting and the stress. And so instead, what we did was, Megan was like, let's just take a break. And so we went out and got pizza, and we came back and had, we made like, well, we had like a little, we didn't make it, but we had like a boba thing that we had gotten from, oh my gosh, I have to show you guys this. We had gotten from Magnolia at this place called Well Rounded that was actually a donut place, but I didn't get any donuts, but I had to get this sticker that says hot and fresh, just like you. I was like, I need this. They had a t-shirt too, but anyway, I had to get that. So we got this like kind of boba tea, we got a pizza slice, and we put on our pink cheetah PJs, and we made popcorn, and we watched Jack Black's Anaconda. And it was hilarious and fun, and we had a great time. And then we stayed up talking till 1 a.m, and then we slept in till 9. And it just, that I came home and I put a jar in my cherry jar because I was like, outwardly, for anybody who's like, you don't write fast enough, that was not the choice they would have wanted me to make. But inwardly, I know, and I can stand in the confidence and the self-belief of like, when I take care of myself, I produce better books. And when I take care of myself, my family benefits. And I am actually valuable outside of the books that I produce and the productivity that I have. And that just really felt good for me. Right. And I am going to do more of that. Hopefully, not more of, not being able to finish it on time, but just more of being okay and not saying negative things to myself when I need a break. I am playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Somebody here mentioned it, and I was like, oh, I had bought that, but I haven't played it. So I have started playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and I have been getting back into reading craft books and just like really enjoying the process of plotting. I'm using even bigger plotting sheets than I was before. It's like the bigger the better. I have been just really spending time journaling and thinking like, let me reimagine what's possible for my life if I really begin to love myself and say nice things to myself and wake up and be like, man, you are looking good today. You look good today. Let's do this, like really truly believe in myself. I've never really done that. And I'm going to see what can happen if I do. And so I will keep you guys up to date. I know sometimes when we have these moments of like, okay, I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to change my life. There can often be rebounds, especially because we are in Mercury retrograde. So like, who knows what's going to happen here. But I do know that there can be potentially like rebound kind of things of like, as I begin to shift and change, it might feel good, but there also might be some like a little bit of depression come up of like, no, old patterns are going to fight to the death to hang in there. In which case I will be leaning on my best friends for that. And, just continuing to push through because I really, really I just want to be happy and I want to create the life of my dreams. And I feel like there's so much at my fingertips and there's already so much I have created now. And I just want to take it to the next level. And I feel like this year is going to be pivotal for that. So if you also have been struggling with self-love and self-trust and self-belief, try making a decision, drawing a line in the sand and saying, hey, I'm going to start protecting myself as if I was protecting a puppy that I owned or a child that I had, or as if I was protecting myself in a way I wish my parents had or whatever. Oh, you're obsessed with Kuromi. Isn't she so cute? I have this little phone stand. Isn't this adorable? I put my phone there every day. It's my favorite. I was depressed over everything going on in the world that I took a break and made my own plotting system. Okay, I want to know about that. I know you wanted to get creative ideas from different media. Have you been able to watch any K-dramas? I haven't, but I did. My friend Rebecca was like, okay, here's the ones you need to watch. But then she said, make a separate, because I know a lot of them are on Netflix. And she said, make a separate account, but like profile, I guess it's called, because she's like, once you watch a couple, all of your like recommendations will just be K-drama. So I made a separate profile just for K-dramas and I have a bunch saved, but I haven't watched them, but I'm glad you said that. So I'll remember. Yeah, like Avatar. Thank you. I'm going to do it. Channeling how I protected my son when he was in school. Exactly. And I think that it can be super, super powerful. Just think of like, really, what would you do to protect yourself? Sometimes we got to protect ourselves from ourselves because those voices in our head are just afraid, or it's a regurgitation of someone else's voice that we felt was true, but also protecting ourselves from the world and from comparison and just saying, what would happen if I just truly believed in myself? Do it, TM. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. this was the talk I needed. I've been struggling with my depression because I'd stopped reading, told myself I wanted to focus on writing. I had to put reading to the side. I honestly think that reading is a part of writing. And just like you, when push came to shove, I was like, I don't really have as much time to read. But then I stopped writing too. So this is the year we get our joy back, our reading back. And its balance is one of the most difficult challenges I've ever had in my life, but I'm going to keep working on it. I'm not going to give up. And that's kind of the point, is like, you don't have to be perfect. Perfection is not required for your dream life, but you do have to keep trying. And that's the main thing. That's the main thing. Keep trying. Don't give up. And just know that you're not alone, right? Audiobooks count as reading. That's right. And I am going to be doing a video coming up in March about my like house purse. If you've seen these trendy videos, I'm like, us crafty planner girlies have had craft bags forever, but this is basically the idea of having a bunch of things that are not screens that you can do. And my goal is to be listening to the rest of the Wheel of Time this year while I'm doing puzzles and watercolors and coloring and things like that. So I'm going to be doing a video on heart breathings for that. Oh, I love this. You need a mirror where when you look into it, you see your younger child self, and remember to be encouraging. And I think it is such a gift too that Evie looks a lot like me. I don't know if she's listening, like me, but even more beautiful. But she does look a lot like me. And when I see her, I think, how could I not love her? Which means, how can I not love myself, right? She is beautiful. How come I have never been able to see how beautiful I am? Because I don't doubt it for a second with her. And now that helps me understand that, like, the only reason I have looked at myself and thought I wasn't beautiful is because other people told me that, or other people made me feel that way, or I compared myself in unfair ways. And that's a choice, and I don't have to do that anymore. And I am going to, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to see myself as beautiful as a choice. And of course, there's still going to be days and we'll look in the mirror and be like, oh, okay. It's like I was talking to my friend Rebecca on Marco Polo earlier, which I don't think I showed you guys that I did, right? My new phone. You guys saw this. That I put my vision board on the back. I'm gonna do a new vision board on the back of my phone for March. So I'll share that with you. This is my money making vision board. But I was going to let the chickens out. And so I had the phone like this. And it's like when you look at yourself and it's that double chin from below, I was like, okay, not my most flattering angle. So that was a moment. But yeah, we should all believe we're beautiful. We should be our own biggest cheerleaders. And it's the fact that everyone on the internet can have an opinion about you that makes it feel like, plus you can see all these people that are just like model-esque or just like ridiculously at another level. And then you can think, shouldn't I be like that? And it's like, no, I am exactly as God made me. And what a beautiful gift that is. And I'm just going to do the best I can to keep believing that at every step. So, all right, you guys, I love you. I know the double chin phone reflection. It's just, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Diagnosed as ADHD and possibly autism. Well, if you need support too for that, we definitely have some ADHD members in our Discord. So connect with them if you can, and get some support there on navigating that. But I love you guys. I really appreciate that you're here. Thank you for understanding about the book release. But y'all, I think you're really going to love it. It's turning out so much better. And it's really setting up A Throne of Thorns even more. And maybe by the time this book comes out, A Throne of Thorns will be almost done to start reading that here on YouTube. So there's a lot of good stuff coming. So it'll be super fun. But I'm going to go eat dinner, and then I will be back in 2 hours for Broken Chapter Curators. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the book, and we're going to talk about some of my plans for BCS. So I will see you there if you're in the Curators. If not, I will see you guys next Friday. All right. I love you all. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.